Everything changes the moment you stop fighting the world and start mastering yourself. That sounds simple, but it is one of the hardest truths anyone can accept. Most people spend years blaming bad luck, difficult people, unfair situations, or a lack of opportunities for where they are in life. They believe success belongs to those who were born with more talent, more money, or better connections. But history keeps proving something very different. Again and again, ordinary people have risen above impossible circumstances, while others with every advantage have failed. The difference is rarely the world around them. The difference is the world inside them. The greatest obstacle is often the person staring back from the mirror each morning. Fear whispers when opportunity appears. Doubt grows just before action. Anger ruins good decisions. Comfort steals ambition. Distraction quietly replaces focus. These invisible enemies do more damage than any competitor ever could. The surprising part is that most people never even realize they are fighting the wrong battle. They spend their energy trying to control things they cannot change while completely ignoring the one thing they can. The human mind is incredibly powerful, yet it can also become its own prison. Psychology has shown that the way people respond to challenges often matters more than the challenges themselves. Neuroscience continues to reveal that the brain can change through repeated habits, thoughts, and actions. Ancient philosophers understood this thousands of years ago, long before modern science confirmed it. They believed that the person who conquers themselves can never truly be defeated. That idea has survived for centuries because it continues to prove itself in real life. The strongest people are not always the loudest. They are not always the richest, the smartest, or the most talented. Their greatest strength is invisible. They know how to stay calm when others panic. They know how to keep moving when motivation disappears. They know how to control their emotions instead of allowing emotions to control them. While others react, they respond. While others complain, they adapt. While others wait for the perfect moment, they create it through consistent action. This hidden ability changes everything. It changes relationships, careers, health, confidence, and even the way other people see you. The world begins to lose its power over someone who has learned to master their own thoughts and habits. That is why two people can face the exact same situation and walk away with completely different outcomes. One sees defeat, the other sees a lesson. One gives up after failure, the other grows stronger because of it. The situation stays the same, but the person changes, and that changes everything. Throughout this video, you will discover why self-mastery is the foundation of every lasting success. You will learn why your biggest enemy is often hidden inside your daily habits, how emotional control gives you an advantage that most people never develop, why discipline will always outperform motivation, how seeking approval secretly weakens your confidence, why protecting your attention has become one of the most valuable skills in today's world, and how learning to embrace discomfort can unlock a level of strength you never thought possible. Each lesson builds on the one before it, revealing a powerful system that has helped great leaders, successful entrepreneurs, elite athletes, and wise thinkers achieve extraordinary results. But there is one lesson near the end that ties everything together. It explains why some people continue moving forward, no matter how many obstacles appear in their path, while others stop at the very first setback. Missing that final lesson means missing the piece that gives meaning to everything else you are about to hear. By the end of this video, you will look at success from a completely different perspective. You will understand why true power does not begin with controlling people, money, or circumstances. It begins with controlling your own mind. Once that happens, excuses lose their grip, fear becomes smaller, confidence grows naturally, and challenges stop looking like walls. They become opportunities to become stronger. This is not about becoming perfect. It is about becoming stronger than the version of yourself that keeps holding you back. Every small decision you make, every emotion you manage, every habit you build, and every excuse you refuse slowly shapes the person you become. Self-mastery is not a gift reserved for a lucky few. It is a skill that anyone can develop with awareness, patience, and daily practice. The journey is not easy, but it is one of the few journeys that rewards every step you take. So if you are ready to stop letting fear, doubt, distraction, and comfort decide your future, Then stay with me until the very end, because the final lesson may completely change the way you think about success and personal power. Welcome to Apex Aura, the place where we explore the psychology of success, self-growth, and mental strength. If you're ready to become the strongest version of yourself, make sure to subscribe and join our growing community, because every video is designed to help you think better, grow stronger, and take control of your life. Now, let's begin the journey toward mastering the one person who can truly determine your future, yourself. Most people lose battles that never needed to be fought. They spend years trying to change other people, waiting for better opportunities, blaming difficult circumstances, or hoping that one lucky moment will finally transform their lives. They believe the obstacle is somewhere outside them, but the truth is much harder to accept. The biggest enemy is often hidden behind their own thoughts, habits, and reactions. Fear convinces them not to start. Laziness tells them they can always begin tomorrow. Self-doubt whispers that they are not good enough. Overthinking turns simple decisions into impossible ones. Emotional reactions push them to say things they later regret. Comfort quietly steals their ambition one easy day at a time. These invisible enemies do not appear all at once. They grow slowly until they begin controlling every choice. That is why two people with the same education, the same opportunities, and even the same talent can end up living completely different lives. One keeps moving forward despite difficulties, while the other remains trapped in the same place for years. The difference is not always intelligence or luck. It is the ability to win the battle within. Psychology has repeatedly shown that people who can regulate their thoughts, emotions, and impulses are more likely to achieve long-term goals because they are less controlled by temporary feelings. A difficult situation becomes dangerous only when fear convinces you to stop. Failure becomes permanent only when self-doubt tells you not to try again. Criticism becomes destructive only when your confidence depends on other people's approval. External problems gain power only after your inner resistance gives them permission. That is why mastering yourself changes everything. Once your mind stops working against you, many obstacles suddenly become much smaller than they first appeared. Every successful person eventually realizes that the real competition is not with the world. It is with the weaker version of themselves that wants comfort instead of growth. Every morning that battle begins again. The choice is always the same. Follow discipline or follow feelings. Build your future or protect your comfort. Move forward or make another excuse. Nobody else can make that decision for you. If you cannot control yourself, someone else eventually will. Your fears will control you. Your emotions will control you. Advertisements will control you. Social pressure will control you. Even the opinions of strangers can begin directing your life if you never learn to direct it yourself. That is why self-mastery is not simply a useful skill. It is freedom. Many people think power means having authority over others. They believe powerful people are those who can influence crowds, win arguments, or make everyone follow their decisions. But real power looks much quieter than that. Real power is remaining calm while everyone else is losing control. It is keeping a clear mind when pressure is high. It is refusing to let temporary emotions make permanent decisions. Anyone can stay calm when life is easy. The real test comes when things go wrong. Anger is one of the fastest ways to lose control. In only a few seconds, anger can destroy relationships that took years to build. Anxiety fills the mind with problems that do not even exist yet. Jealousy makes people compare their lives with everyone around them until they forget their own purpose. Ego prevents learning because it convinces people they already know enough. Impulsive decisions create consequences that often last much longer than the emotions that cause them. Every emotional reaction is like handing the steering wheel of your life to someone else. The moment another person can control your emotions, they can often predict your behavior. If someone knows exactly what will make you angry, jealous, insecure, or impatient, they gain influence over your decisions without you realizing it. That is why emotionally reactive people are easier to manipulate. They respond exactly the way others expect them to. Calm people are much harder to control because they create space between emotion and action. Instead of reacting immediately, they pause, they observe, they think, then they choose their response. That short pause may only last a few seconds, but it changes everything. It prevents arguments from becoming disasters. It prevents fear from becoming surrender. It prevents frustration from becoming failure. Emotional control does not mean pretending you have no feelings. It means refusing to become a prisoner of them. The calmer you become, the stronger you become, because your decisions begin serving your future instead of your emotions. Calmness creates clarity, and clarity creates better choices. Many people wait to feel motivated before taking action. They believe motivation is the secret ingredient behind every success story. They watch inspiring videos, read powerful quotes, and promise themselves that tomorrow will be different. For a day or two, everything feels exciting. Then motivation quietly disappears, and old habits return. This happens because motivation is based on emotion, and emotions constantly change. Some mornings you wake up feeling energetic. Other mornings you feel tired, discouraged, or distracted. If your progress depends on how you feel each day, your results will always rise and fall with your emotions. Discipline works differently. Discipline does not ask whether you feel ready. It simply reminds you of the commitment you already made. The most successful people are rarely the most motivated. They are simply the most consistent. They build routines that continue working even when excitement disappears. They understand that small daily actions repeated over months become extraordinary results. Reading 10 pages every day seems insignificant until you finish dozens of books in a year. Exercising for 30 minutes each day feels ordinary until your body becomes stronger than it has ever been. Saving a small amount of money regularly eventually creates financial security. Tiny habits rarely change your life overnight, but they quietly shape your future without demanding attention. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, your confidence grows a little stronger because your mind begins trusting your own words. Every time you break that promise, your confidence weakens because your brain learns that your commitments do not matter. Discipline is built one decision at a time. It grows stronger through repetition, just like a muscle becomes stronger through exercise. The more often you choose long-term rewards over short-term pleasure, the easier those choices become. This is why delayed gratification is one of the greatest predictors of success. The ability to sacrifice today's comfort for tomorrow's reward separates people who simply dream from those who actually achieve. But there is one silent habit that slowly destroys discipline without most people noticing it. And understanding that habit will completely change the way you approach your daily choices. The search for approval is one of the most invisible prisons people ever enter. It often begins with good intentions. People want to be liked, respected, and accepted. There is nothing wrong with that. The problem begins when approval becomes more important than honesty. Little by little, people start changing their opinions to fit in. They stay silent when they should speak. They say yes when they really want to say no. They choose careers to impress others instead of fulfilling themselves. They buy things they do not need simply to appear successful. Eventually, they stop asking what they truly want because they become too busy wondering what everyone else expects. Social comparison makes this problem even worse. Every day, people compare their ordinary moments with someone else's carefully selected highlights. They compare their beginning with another person's success story. Confidence slowly disappears because someone else always seems richer, happier, more attractive, or more successful. The more your happiness depends on the opinions of other people, the less control you have over your own life. Every compliment becomes addictive. Every criticism becomes painful. Your emotions begin rising and falling based on people who are not even responsible for your future. True freedom begins the moment your values become more important than applause. When your decisions are guided by purpose instead of popularity, your confidence becomes much harder to shake. You stop chasing acceptance because you finally accept yourself. Everything you've heard in this video leads to one powerful truth. The greatest battle you will ever fight is not against the world. It is against the part of yourself that chooses fear over courage, comfort over growth, and excuses over action. Every day, life gives you a choice. You can let your emotions control your decisions, or you can learn to control your emotions. You can wait for motivation, or you can build discipline that keeps moving even when motivation disappears. You can spend your life chasing approval, Or you can find the freedom that comes from living by your own values. You can allow distractions to steal your attention, or you can protect your focus and build the future you truly want. You can avoid discomfort, or you can embrace it and become stronger because of it. Real change never happens overnight. It happens through small choices repeated every single day. Every time you choose discipline over excuses, you become stronger. Every time you stay calm instead of reacting with anger, you become wiser. Every time you ignore distractions and focus on what truly matters, you move one step closer to the life you want. These choices may seem small in the moment, but over time they shape your character, your future, and your destiny. Always remember this. The world doesn't decide your limits, your habits do. Your fears do. Your excuses do. The day you master yourself is the day you stop waiting for life to change, because you become the person who changes it. And once you become that person, very little in this world can stand in your way. If this video gave you a new perspective and inspired you to take control of your life, don't let the journey end here. Click the like button, subscribe to Apex Aura, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss another video designed to make you stronger, wiser, and more disciplined. Share this video with someone who needs this message today, because one idea can change a mindset, and one changed mindset can change an entire life. Thank you for watching, and remember, the strongest person is never the one who defeats everyone else. The strongest person is the one who defeats the version of themselves that wanted to give up. We'll see you in the next video.